G'day guys, Disney Dave coming at you once again from Down Under, and welcome to another edition of my complete pop vinyl collection. Today we're taking a look at my Marvel pop vinyl collection, and it's actually quite a big collection. I don't have them displayed as nicely as my Disney figures, like all out on a shelf. I have them all on top of my details where I store my hot toys, so they're sort of all jumbled up. So I'm gonna have to get up on like a stepping stool and sort of pull them all down and show you, which is gonna be a little bit exhausting but a lot of fun to go through all these figures again. You will notice that these are all figures from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't collect the Marvel Comics characters because it just becomes too much. Sometimes when I start a collection, especially a collection where it's easy to sort of lose yourself, where you start buying a whole lot of stuff, it's good to sort of set parameters for yourself. When it comes to Hot Toys, I don't like buying double ups of the same character under normal circumstances. When it comes to pop vinyls, I don't mind buying a couple of different versions of the character because they're much cheaper than the Hot Toys, say only 20 bucks each. So I don't mind having a couple of different variants. The big parameter I have for my Marvel collection is only MCU characters. There's only one exception in my collection, which you'll see right at the very end. But yeah, these are all MCU characters. It just keeps my spending at bay. It means I don't have to just feel like I have to buy so many different figures. I can just keep myself focused on the movie versions of the characters, and it keeps me very happy. Now, you'll also notice if you're not a huge pop vinyl collector, or maybe you've actually been wondering this, the Marvel pop vinyl figures, just as the Star Wars ones and the DC ones too, I think, are all bobbleheads. That's right, they're all bobbleheads, which is a bit strange because most of the other ones, or the movie ones, the Disney ones, they're not bobbleheads. So everyone's probably wondering, what's the deal with the bobbleheads? When Funko started making the pop vinyl figures, they obviously wanted to make Marvel characters, Star Wars characters, DC characters as action figures. But the thing was, other toy companies actually had the licenses to make these characters as action figures. So for example, the Star Wars ones were owned by Hasbro. So technically, Funko couldn't make these little pop vinyl action figures of these characters. However, Funko did previously have the license to make bobblehead versions of these characters. So, simple solution, you give your pop vinyl a bobblehead and all of a sudden it's no longer an action figure, it's a bobblehead, and Funko can get away with making pop vinyls for all of these characters they otherwise wouldn't have been allowed to make. I think that's very, very cheeky, but it's very, very smart. Which is okay, it's a little bit strange, but when they're all sitting there on the shelf, you don't tend to notice it so much. But without further ado, let's do this. Let's get into my Marvel pop vinyl collection. Okay, so this here is my complete Marvel pop vinyl collection. Okay, so I don't have every single Marvel character that's ever been released. I don't try to double up on characters too much. I do like to just have one of each character and just sort of build my team up like this. And every time a new character sort of comes out, I make an effort to go out and get them. So how about we just sort of start at the beginning right here and work our way through all of these action figures. First up, we have this cool little Captain America right here. I think this was from Age of Ultron. It could be a Civil War Captain America. I'm not too sure. I can't really remember when I picked that up. I'm pretty sure it's an Age of Ultron one though. I like that, it's pretty cool. I have a couple of other Captain Americas. He's the only one where I have multiple versions of the character. I'll show you them at the very end of the video. Next up, we have Black Panther. This is, of course, from Civil War. Love Black Panther's suit from Civil War. Not a huge fan of the one from the new movie, so I'm glad I managed to pick that one up while I could. We've got War Machine here from Civil War as well, who looks absolutely awesome. I didn't pick up any of the earlier War Machines for one reason or another, so I was glad I was able to pick that one up. Hawkeye. This is a Age of Ultron Hawkeye again, and Black Widow there on the right as well. They're both from Age of Ultron. I just love them. I love Black Widow's suit from Age of Ultron. I think it's so cool. And Hawkeye's as well, I'm quite partial to. So you've got both of them right there. I'm really happy with both of them. To work our way over here a little bit, we've got a Doctor Strange pop vinyl from Doctor Strange, of course. This is is it the San Diego Comic-Con or the New York Comic-Con exclusive variant sort of thing. Yeah, this cost me a little bit more than most pop vinyls, but I had to pick this one up because the regular one didn't have the mandala of light on there, so I had to grab this one. And I know you especially shouldn't take the exclusives out of the boxes, but again, I don't care. Next up we have Thor. This is the Thor from, I think this is from Dark World. It could be from Age of Ultron, but I have a feeling this is the Dark World Thor. There you go, there's my Thor. I love him, we got a little hammer there. I'm gonna have to pull some of these out. We have Vision right here. From, I think, Age of Ultron as well. Really love this guy. He's one of my favorite characters. I just think he's so cool. Agent 13 from Civil War, Sharon Carter. Funny thing is, she was obviously supposed to have a much larger role in the film. All the promo and concept art of her in the film had her holding these sort of little baton things, getting ready to fight with the Avengers. Never happened in the movie. And even the figure has her like this. And it's kind of odd that Disney or Marvel sort of signed off on this one, because usually if a toy manufacturer goes to manufacture a toy based on something that didn't actually make it into the movie, they don't often sign off on it. So that's actually a very interesting one. I love that character. I want to see more of her in the films. Of course, right here we've got the man himself. Oh, we've knocked Bucky over down there. We got the man himself, Iron Man. This one is awesome. This is one of my favorite Iron Mans I ever did. This is an Age of Ultron one as well, I believe. I love the base on there. As you can see, not many Hot Toys actually come with a base. This is just awesome. But he looks really cool like that. I love this figure. It's really, really awesome. Let's go for this guy down here that I knocked over. Oops, sorry, mate. We have the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. I sort of regret getting this. I'd prefer to have a Bucky Barnes without the face mask. That's why I never bought the original Bucky Barnes hot toy and went with the new one. But it's still pretty cool, and I might pick up a Bucky Barnes one day. I'm not too sure, but at least I've got him in my collection somehow. He's right up the back. You don't often see him that much anyway. Then we have Loki. This is a Thor the Dark World Loki as well. As you can see, I usually push all my villains to the back. I find them to be the least interesting characters. And when it comes to Hot Toys even, I don't even bother collecting the villains. So there you go. I have to have Loki though. The Keeper of the Rainbow Bridge of Asgard, Heimdall. That's an alright. That's a Thor the Dark World one as well. I think I may have actually picked these Dark World ones up really cheap at like a Supernova convention or something. It's the only reason I would have actually bought them. But I think he's pretty cool too. While we're on the Thor ones, let's have a look at this guy. Of course, Odin himself right there. But yeah, awesome. Love that guy. Next up, let's take a look at this guy right here. This is the Falcon. Falcon from Civil War, of course, because he's got the red suit there. I love the red suit more so than the suit he had in Winter Soldier. That is just cool. Falcon is one of my favorite characters. I've got him up on a little box there, so he's sort of floating above all the other characters. I think Iron Man was originally up there, but I had to put Falcon up there because he's just awesome. Move back down. We got Peggy Carter right here. This is the original version. I think they did a couple of variants of her. For some reason, I always have this issue with the female figures where the heads slide too far down the neck and then they're sort of all over the place. I'm not sure what's up with that, but I love the little Peggy Carter figure. She's so cool, so cute. Next up, let's take a look at this cool son. Of course, it's Phil Coulson. This is the, I believe, Avengers version of Coulson. They have done an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. version since. I think he's in a grey suit or a black suit or something. They actually did one where he was in the car, which is awesome too, but I never picked that one up. This is cool. I love Phil Coulson, one of my favourite characters. Before we get onto the web head in the front there are actually another couple of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. figures. We've got Agent May. Again, as I was saying about female figures, the head is like slipped down too far and like wobbly and all. I just don't know how that happens. Seems to happen with most female figures I get. I love this figure, but it's a shame about the head. I haven't been able to figure a way to sort of get them back up. And of course, you can't get the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. figures without getting Daisy, aka Quake. I just think she is awesome. This is actually one of the better figures they've done. I love it. I love it so much. I'm not a huge fan of S.H.I.E.L.D. I love the earlier seasons, but I love the characters, and I just had to have a couple of them. Okay, so now let's get to this guy here. It is, of course, Spider-Man. I waited so long to pick up a Spider-Man. I was very patient. They did a few comic book Spider-Mans. They did a few amazing Spider-Mans, but I wanted an MCU Spider-Man for my pop vinyl collection. And there he is. Absolutely love him. He's awesome. Love Spider-Man. A great character. I think they finally got him right in the MCU. Over here, this is another Spider-Man Homecoming figure I just had to get. Tony Stark. I know I don't like to double up on characters too much, but you gotta have a Tony Stark and an Iron Man in your collection. I think this is so cool. I think his little t-shirt with a little cat on it, it's just too funny. There's so much attitude in this little pop vinyl right here. Love it. All right, let's go back here again. We've got this guy. The Incredible Hulk from Age of Ultron as well. I'm not a huge fan of Age of Ultron Hulk because I don't like those pants so much. I prefer my Hulk to have like the trademark tattered purple pants, but that's okay when it comes to pop vinyls. I've got my Hulk of choice in my Hot Toy collection, so that's cool. I wish, as you can see, I have a couple of oversized pop vinyls in there. I don't know why they haven't done a Hulk that size yet. He's just the same size as everyone else, which is a little bit weird. Alright, next up down here is, of course, Ant-Man. Love Ant-Man. This is from the Ant-Man film, I believe. This one you can tell by the costume that he's wearing there. Absolutely loved Ant-Man and Paul Rudd. Oh, wouldn't it be cool to get a pop vinyl of Ant-Man with the Paul Rudd sculpt? My life would be complete. So there's a little Ant-Man there, and of course next to him is Giant Man. There he is right there, Giant Man from Civil War, of course. You can see the costume is slightly different to the Ant-Man costume, but that is awesome right there. That's why I'm saying, why don't they do a Hulk this size? There should be a Hulk this size, that'd be fantastic. Hulk go up against Giant Man. Be brilliant. And sticking on the Ant-Man theme, we've got the villain from Ant-Man, Yellow Jacket himself. It's a pretty great little figure here. Again, I don't really collect that many villains, but I felt like I loved Ant-Man so much that I just wanted to get a couple of little figures from the movie itself. So there's Yellow Jacket there. Another villain over here is me. And speaking of villains, we have the villain from Age of Ultron right here, Ultron. Again, this is another one they probably could have done as one of the bigger pop vinyl figures, because Ultron's actually quite a big character, but they did a tiny one. It's not that great, but I had to pick up Ultron from Age of Ultron. I mean, it's Ultron. One they of course did give the big figure treatment to was Thanos. This is of course Thanos from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I'm sure they will do another one when Avengers Infinity War rolls around, considering he is the main villain of the film, so we'll have, you know, more of a impact on the film storytelling. But I had to pick this guy up because he's awesome. Again, I think this is one that I picked up at one of those. He's actually pretty fantastic for a villain figure. Had to get the big bad of the MCU, Thanos. And another villain here. Alright, well, I did say I don't collect a lot of villains, but I actually have quite a few of them. We've got Ronan, again from Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Not a huge fan of this character. He's a pretty weak character, pretty weak villain. But I think he's pretty cool in pop vinyl form. And again, I think I got him really cheap at that special there. Sticking with the Guardians theme is Nebula right here. I actually forgot I had Nebula. So there you go, there's news to me as well. She's quite cool there, actually. You know, there were a couple of characters from the first Guardians that I didn't really feel for until I saw the second movie, and Nebula was one of them, and so was Yondu. Didn't really think much about them, but I thought the story development for their characters was fantastic in the second film. I've actually grown to love this character, and Yondu too, so I'm actually happy that she's up the back here. Speaking of Yondu, here he is from the first Guardians film. He's got the little fin there, which I think is a better design than the big fin in the second film. But anyway, I'm happy to have a little Yondu there. It'd be good if he was holding one of his little arrows or something, but what can you do about it? There you go. While we work our way to the front, we may as well just continue on with the Guardians figures that are up the back here. We've got the Collector, which is awesome. I love this one. This is one of the villains. Though, is he really a villain? I don't know. Could you classify him as a villain, or is he just a strange character? The Collector. I love this one. It's awesome. I think he's a great little character. Sort of weird, bizarre character. I hope he does turn up in one of the future movies. That would be great. That's a great little figure there. I love it. We've of course got a little potted Groot here. So there's little Groot when he's in his pot and he's dancing around at the end of the first movie. Again, this is one of those things that annoys me where the scale is just way out. He should be like a tiny little twig, but he's a full-size pop. But that's for the more novelty collector, I suppose, and that's fantastic. There's so many variants of this, but I just had to go with the standard white pot one. And then Groot, once again, we have the regular Groot from the first Guardians. I always wanted a big Groot, like the size of the Thanos or the Giant Man, but they didn't do one for the first movie. I do believe they did a big Groot for the second movie, but I didn't end up buying it because, I don't know, I already had this one and I just felt I didn't need another one. Didn't need to go and spend $40 or whatever they were asking on it. But this one's quite cool. I do like big Groot. We'll go right to the front while we're on Groot. We got little baby Groot here from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I just couldn't pass up not getting another little baby Groot. He's awesome. I wanted the one in the little Ravagers costume, it was pretty cool, but then after seeing the movie, he was very sad when he was put in that suit. I sort of forced him in there, he was crying like a little baby, it would make me sad looking at it. So I just got the little naked baby Groot, which I'm happy with. He looks pretty happy here, so yeah, I like that. That's a good one. Right up here is, of course, Star-Lord himself. So this is Star-Lord from the first Guardians movie. As you see, he's got the Star-Lord helmet on. They did do a variant of this where it was the Peter Quill head sculpt, but I just ended up sticking with this Star-Lord from the first Guardians movie, which is really awesome. I just love that. That looks fantastic in pop form. But then, of course, they did this guy for the new movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and we just couldn't help ourselves because that one is just awesome. I mean, look at that. Cool Peter Quill, Chris Pratt head sculpt. He's just sick. I love the funny little t-shirt that he's wearing there, and I just had to get that one. Couldn't help it myself. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Up here we've got Gamora, of course, from the first Guardians movie. I think this is a great one. Didn't need an upgrade on this from the new film. Costume wasn't all that different. I mean, it was a little bit different, but not enough to warrant buying another one. Very happy with that one. So here's the little Gamora there. Of course, we got Drax the Destroyer. This is fantastic. Another one of those sort of unique ones. Most of them look the same after a while, but this one is great. When you get one that's sort of a very unique character, unique design, and all that kind of stuff, I think it's fantastic. So I think this one's really cool. I love the tattoos on the chest there, and it's not your stock standard pop vinyl, so that's a great one. And of course, can't have the Guardians team up without little Rocket Raccoon. Again, from the first Guardians movie, because he's in his little orange jumpsuit there. I think that's great. Again, didn't need an upgrade, although the ones from Guardians Volume 2 are actually pretty awesome. The little Rocket Raccoon figures they have, but I'm happy enough with that one. And another one here from Guardians Volume 2. I had to pick up Ego. Of course, Ego the Living Planet. Peter Quill's father. And on top of that, it's Kurt Russell. So why not? I had to have a little Kurt Russell pop vinyl somehow. I think this one is fantastic. And I love the character, and we do talk about MCU villains being kind of weak, but this is probably the greatest villain the MCU has ever had. It was fantastic character, multi-layered, and the portrayal was fantastic by Kurt Russell. So happy to have him, and I'm happy to actually have him up the front. The only villain I've got up the front of my collection, which is something. Over here is another one from Guardians Volume 2, and that is Mantis. I love Mantis. She's a great little character. And again, I love it when they add new characters to the Marvel Universe, and I love being able to pick up the new characters and add them to the team up, and she's just great. I hope we see more of her. I know we will see more of her in the next Avengers movies, but I hope she has a bigger role going forward, because she's great. She's a great little character. I love it. Alright, we've only got a few more here, and they're once again television ones. We've been over the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ones. Now let's go over to the Netflix side of the Marvel Universe. We've got Daredevil right here. This is the first season Daredevil. They did a second season Daredevil as well, but there wasn't much of a difference really. The suit's a little bit different, but I'm happy enough with this guy. I think he's fantastic. I'm happy to have the Netflix shows represented in this collection. When it comes to my Hot Toys, I won't be buying any of the Netflix series figures because that's another road I don't need to go down. But I'm happy to have them represented in here somehow. From Daredevil Season 2, it's Elektra. Just another one of those characters that is just cool, and this pop vinyl is great. Love when they add, again, a little bit of attitude to the figures and sort of, you know, give them a nice little pose and some cool little accessories and stuff. So it's not just a bland, like, figure standing there. I think that's great, so I'm very happy with the Elektra one. Now we talk about cool villains. Frank Castle, the Punisher. This is great. I absolutely love this little one. He's got this great little weapon on him and his little shirt, of course, a Punisher shirt and everything is fantastic. Again, they're doing a hot toy of him. I had him on order alongside the Daredevil one, but I've cancelled them because I don't need them. That's money I just don't need to spend on them. But I'm happy to have the little pop vinyl of the Punisher right here. Look at his hair. Isn't that funny? How cool is that? And alongside Frank Castle, the villain of Season 2, we have the villain of Season 1, Kingpin. Oh boy, this is awesome. Again, it's not the greatest of all figures, but it's got a little bit of attitude. It's kind of cool. And I think I got him quite cheap as well. So I managed to pick him up to go along with the Daredevil collection. Sort of couldn't not have a Daredevil collection without Kingpin. So he's awesome too. And finally, we've got one more in this great big collection right here. I don't think I've missed any of them. This girl right here. Again, from the Netflix side of the universe, it's Jessica Jones. She's got a little bit of attitude there, and absolutely fantastic. I love Jessica Jones. I think, to me, personally, Jessica Jones is the best series they've done for Netflix so far. I mean, Daredevil's great. The action in Daredevil is fantastic, and the choreography and everything. But Jessica Jones just had a fantastic story, and I think the performances in it were brilliant. I love Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones. Great character, and I'm happy to be able to own little Jessica Jones. They did a Luke Cage figure from the Jessica Jones series, but if I were to pick up a Luke Cage, I'd like to have him in his trademark yellow t-shirt. So I'm hoping they'll either do a Luke Cage from the Luke Cage series or the Defenders, perhaps. That'd be great. I'd love to pick up a Luke Cage and a Danny Rand. Now, I did say at the beginning of the video there were a couple of Captain America figures I wanted to show you as well. These are actually the only pop vinyls I keep in boxes. This is my favorite version of Captain America in the MCU. This is the stealth suit, the shield suit. Had to have this one. Bought this off a friend recently. The friend kept it in the box, and I just felt like I should continue the legacy of them keeping it in the box by myself keeping it in the box, I suppose. And I didn't want two Captain Americas up there. I don't know why. So I left him in the box. Down here we have another couple of Captain Americas, both in boxes as well. These are both 75th anniversary Captain America figures. I think they were very limited. I only ever saw them once, maybe twice in stores. So I had to pick them both up, and I just felt like they should stay in the boxes here because they were just such a special figure. And I like the fact that it has the big 75th logo on there, and I had to keep them in there. So this is like the original Captain America variant, which is great. Only annoying thing about it is the shield. It's like some sort of like, I don't know, some weird shield that it comes with. This is a variant on the normal comic book Captain America figure. The comic book one has the normal shield. This has some weird shield, so it's a little bit annoying. I didn't realize that until I bought it, but again, I was happy to have it with that 75th logo on it right there. And we'll move up to this one. This is like Golden Age Captain America from the comics from like the 1940s, which is awesome. And this is him in his sort of Golden Age outfit, which is great. He's got a normal little shield there, and he's a classic uniform. Not really a sepia tone, but it's sort of a toned down tone, I suppose. And he just looks great. So I really love that guy. I really love that guy there. And I think they're fantastic two little Captain America collector's items. So they had to stay in the box. But those are the only three I actually have in boxes. The three Captain Americas right there. And with that, that is once again my entire MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, pop vinyl collection. They are sort of all over the place. You can't see half of them. I gotta find a better way to display these. One day I will, away from dust, you know, but for now I'm happy with them all there. I think they're fantastic. This is one of my favorite little collections here. I don't buy too many of them, but there's a few more that I do want to pick up very soon, and you'll see them in a pop vinyl update video somewhere down the line. Actually, before we go, for the DC faithful out there, where are the DC figures? Okay, I do have a couple here. I know I rag on the DCEU, the DC Expanded Universe, their Cinematic Universe thing every now and then. I love the characters though. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, these are the superheroes that I grew up with as a kid. I love the characters. I love DC. I just don't like what they're doing narratively and film-wise with the DC movies at the moment. Doesn't mean I don't like DC, doesn't mean I don't like the characters, because I do. I love them. To show my love for them, I do have a very small selection of the DC characters here in pop vinyl form. We have Superman and Batman here from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. I didn't like the movies, but again, I love the characters. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I love Ben Affleck as Batman. I was happy to pick up the little pop vinyls of them right there because they're just so cool. And of course, Wonder Woman right here. This is a fantastic little pop vinyl of Wonder Woman. I love the Wonder Woman character. And actually, I really enjoyed the Wonder Woman movie as well. So I was happy to, actually this was, I actually got these as freebies in when I went to see the movie at the premiere here in Melbourne. They gave away little show bags on the seats for everyone who was at the movies. So I was able to pick these up. There were a bunch of leftovers at the end too. They let me just take a bunch home to give away to friends and stuff. So that was fantastic. I would have gone out and bought a Wonder Woman though, had I not got them for free, because I just love her. I love that little character there. She's fantastic. Again, another one with a little bit of attitude. Okay, for the DC fans out there, there are the DC characters. For the Marvel fans who don't like DC, well, too bad. There they are. Okay,
Back to you, Dave.
And there you go, that is my complete Marvel Pop Vinyl collection. I hope you enjoyed watching this one. Of course, I said I'll be picking up Marvel characters as I go along. There's a couple of Thor Ragnarok ones that I want to pick up. I'm sure I'll pick up some from Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War. I'm waiting for a Captain Marvel figure. I keep looking at the comic book version going, oh, I want this so bad, but I gotta wait for the movie version. Patience! You gotta have patience when you're in a big collecting game like this. If you have enjoyed the video today and you're a first time viewer and you'd like to see some more of my Pop Vinyl videos, I've already uploaded a couple and I will be uploading plenty more in the future, including regular updates. So if you haven't checked out any of that, there'll be hyperlinks for those videos at the very end. But if you'd like to keep up to date with all this stuff, then please give me some support, and also after the jump, hit subscribe. To all regular viewers out there, thank you once again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. To absolutely everybody out there, I hope I'll see you again soon. Until next time though guys, take care and I hope you have a marvelous day.